Yes, people, welcome to the Bailey Talks Ball YouTube channel. I'm here with my good friend Sonnytalksspurs, who is going to be predicting the Premier League season with me. We've also gone through and done things like top goal scorer, most assists, and any other predictions for the season. Sonny, welcome to the channel. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I've been your lifelong friend for, well, we met in primary school. I don't know why I'm introing myself like that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we've known each other for a while. But yeah, we've been wanting to do a link up. My channel about Spurs has been running for like a year now. But
Yeah.
when I heard Luke was launching a channel, and to make my debut on his first video is an absolute
It's an
honor. And I'm
absolute
looking,
privilege to have you on, I must say.
yeah. I'm looking forward to talking about not just Tottenham as well. Just sort of like, I feel like sometimes I'm in my bubble just with my Ange
Yeah,
propaganda
yeah.
train. So, no, it's good to be here.
So we're going to start off by going through our Premier League table from bottom to top. So we'll both say what team we've chosen, and then we'll discuss our picks. So let's
Mm.
start off with 20th position. Do you want to go first?
I've gone with Southampton, and
Southampton.
I feel like it's pretty self explanatory.
I have gone Leicester
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
because I'm pretty sure they're going to get a points deduction at some point.
That's cheating. I knew that, but I was like,
I was thinking, does he know that?
oh, I don't know anything, mate.
Yeah, Leicester going to get a points deduction. So, and I heard it's going to be like between -10 to -20 points. So, I
Jesus
think
Christ.
they may be in a bit of trouble, even with Steve Cooper. Uh,
Mm.
but yeah, Southampton, I can see why you've gone with them.
I mean, I feel like they're going to do, even with their -20 points deduction for Leicester, I think Southampton are going to be worse. I just think their transfer activity has been a bit lackluster. I mean, Ben Brereton Diaz, he's all right, but he's not going to, no, he didn't set the world alight at Sheffield United, but they're already a sinking ship. Flynn
Yeah,
Downs and the Man City defender that they've signed on permanence. I, I don't know. It just doesn't. And Adam Armstrong is just an unknown entity in the Premier League, as always, and they've let go of Che Adams and Stuart Armstrong. So it's like it's just you
yeah.
can't judge it. I like Russell Martin. I feel like, do you know what it'll be? I feel like they'll be the Luton of this season. Like Russell Martin could get a
Southampton.
job off. Yeah, I feel like they even though they'll finish bottom, I feel like they'll have like a couple of good results, and
Mm.
Russell Martin will put his name, into the hat for a bit bigger jobs, like mid-table jobs. But
Who did you
they're just,
think? I
I think he's got a
Personally,
good
the way I
philosophy.
see it, I see Southampton as more Burnley than
Oh,
Luton.
really?
Because I think Russell Martin likes to play a certain way.
Hmm.
Will he be able to change his style of play for the Premier League? Is he going to do that? I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, but I actually think for the playoff final, they did change their style of play, and that's how they got into the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I just don't think they have the quality. Adam Armstrong is not going to score you enough goals to
Hmm.
to like keep you up.
Yeah. I mean, you say there that the Burnley, so that means that Russell Martin will get a top European job at the end of the season. So
That's
it'll
actually
be
true.
it'll be at Inter Milan replacing
He hasn't
Inzaghi.
worked under Pep Guardiola, so
Okay,
he hasn't got the Pep tax.
he worked under any Norwich manager between the 2010s, probably. So, yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I might as well go on to my 19th team
yeah, what's your
because
90?
they are Leicester.
Yeah,
Because
mine's Southampton's.
again, like apparently under Maresca last year, like Leicester fans didn't really like him. He's now
Yeah,
gone. Um, and Steve Cooper, I've always rated. I think he's came through the FA along
yeah.
with a few other Welsh coaches as well, like Rob Edwards. And I just think Steve Cooper, even though he's a good manager, I don't think they've done enough either. Like, obviously Dewsbury Hall's left. They've signed that winger on loan that they had last year, but I just think, and now with I knew they had been done for FFP or whatever, but with a looming points deduction, I
Yeah.
think it might be straight
I
back
don't
down
think they have
for.
enough. I don't think they have
They've got
enough.
Vardy. They've still got Vardy up top. That's not
Yeah.
like what is going on? Like,
Have you
it's
seen
not good enough.
the image of their lineup, their starting 11? It is
No, is it
not
just
good.
horrible? I've seen this
It's not
squad,
good
but like,
reading.
I
It's not
mean,
good reading.
just
I don't. I do like the left winger. What's his name?
the one who I've just said. I can't remember his name either. So
Um,
we know ball knowledge,
you know,
but yeah, he's
ball
quite good.
knowledge test. I don't know names. But I
Try
like him.
Google.
Is he going to score? I don't know if he's going to score you a lot of goals in the Prem though.
I mean, they've got Connor Cody. I mean, the back line still of Wout Fass and Yannick Vestergaard is disgusting.
And who's
Like,
the like David Luiz wannabe wannabe
oh
Danny?
yeah, Wout
Right.
Fass.
Yeah, Belfast. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I love how
terrible.
I've just typed
In the
into
year they went down, he was terrible.
Google Leicester and like Leicester squad, and it's just got a picture of Dion Dublin. Well, he's not still there, is he? Or was he there?
Love it.
I don't know. Who you put 19th in?
Southampton. I think
Okay.
Russell. Yeah, yeah.
That's the
I
same
think
thing.
Russell Martin. Yeah, I like Flynn Downs. Flynn Downs is a good player. He was at West Ham. We let him go.
Yes.
Um, I just don't think it's a championship team, and like history has taught us the promoted teams struggle
Yeah,
in in
100%.
the Premier League. The money, the gap between the Premier League and the Championship is getting like larger and larger every year. I just think they're going to struggle.
Yeah, I just think that it's a what's it flip of a coin of those two sides, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like it's not it's just not good enough. Like when you look at the way the Premier League is heading at, like even like Southampton, they had some good moments last year, but it should have been Leeds. Like and look at Leeds, like it's disastrous. They've lost Archie Gray, they've lost
Somerville.
Somerville to you, and Archie Gray to my side. So yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like when we move on to my 18th team, you're going to be. This is
Why
a
don't we do
shocker.
that right now? Who is your 18th team?
So I think the Brighton bubble is going to
Oh
burst.
no.
Brighton's Premier League fairy tale comes to an end this season
I don't know why everyone thinks this is going to happen. Just because they brought
because
in a 31-year-old manager.
he, he's only a few years older than us, and
That
and
is actually true. That's it.
and I just think I've some of their. Do you know what I see it as? And it's funny that they're in this situation with these other two teams. What happened to Leicester and Southampton, I think, will happen to Brighton. You just can't year after year get rid of a high-profile asset and just keep like the conveyor belt can't carry on forever. And it happened
Yeah.
with Southampton. They got rid of Mane's and Adam Lallana's and whoever, and Leicester got rid of Van Dijk, and Leicester got rid of Mahrez and Kante, and Brighton just. I think Pascal Gross is a massive loss. I feel like
That
even
is
though he's
a big loss,
in his
actually.
in his latter stages, I think Lewis Dunk, he wasn't really looking great last season. Like even under De Zerbi last term, they looked a bit shaky. And I
They
know they were in Europe as well,
started
but
well.
I just think, I just, it, the easiest option is to go for Ipswich there, maybe, or Forest. But
Yeah.
I think he's going to struggle,
Okay.
Fabian Hertzler. It might be wrong, but if this comes off, then I look like a genius. So
You will.
it's worth.
I have seen a lot of people going for this rogue Brighton relegation
Yeah,
shot,
I think
but they
Roy
have
Jennings said
got
it first.
they've still got quality in their team. Like
Mm,
Dunk is still a good Premier League centre back. He got called up to England. I know
he's a cheerleader.
maybe people weren't happy about
Yeah,
that, but he did. The centre back next to him, Van Hecke, is it?
yeah, yeah,
He's good. He's good on the ball. They've got a winger. Is he Colombian, Ecuadorian?
yeah. Maybe.
I remember he looks like he's good, and if he can step up, Mitoma, Ferguson, these are all players that we were all saying are going to get they're the next generation that are going to get the big move. So I just don't see them getting relegated. I think people are overhyping the whole, oh, he's a 31-year-old manager. Brighton do what Brighton do. They have a system. If he fits the mold of what they want, they'll bring him in. No one knew De Zerbi. or they
Mm.
do, but he wasn't like this world-class manager. He goes to Brighton, shows what he can do, and then everyone's touting him for the Man City job. I know he didn't get it, but
But then I don't even think he's a like. I don't think he's a world class manager.
he's
Deservedly,
not.
I think.
He's not. But at one point, people were thinking, this guy's the next Pep.
Yeah,
I
I
think
just
Brighton know what they're doing in a way.
no. They
Well
run very
run.
well. I just feel like history tells us one thing sometimes, and I've just seen it with a
Yeah.
lot of clubs of that level. Of they, it's like they want to make that next step, but it's I've seen it. Big clubs have got relegated, like your club.
Yeah.
Newcastle under Rafa Benitez got relegated.
Yeah, that's true.
Fulham got relegated and yo-yoed a bit.
I do think those clubs had terrible owners.
Yeah, that
Brighton
maybe is what it
are
is.
Brighton are very well structured
Yeah,
and they know what they're doing, so I can't see them going down.
yeah, it's quite rogue. It is. I'm not gonna lie, but
Anyway,
a broken clock is right twice a day. Is what I was.
do you want to hear my boring 18th prediction?
Is it Ipswich?
It's Ipswich, yeah.
They are an unknown entity. I will
They're an
say that.
unknown entity and they're more like a Luton, because you just don't really know what you're gonna get. Their ground may help. Is McKenna
Historic.
gonna is McKenna gonna be able to adapt his football to the Premier League like Company and Russell Howard's gonna have Russell Howard's Russell Martin. Russell
Good news. Russell Howard
Yeah,
is
good news in Southampton. But
that's
yeah,
good.
is he gonna be able to adapt? I think he might. I think he'll show class. There'll be glimpses of Ipswich doing really well and showing class, but I don't think
That's really tickled me. Uh, lead this in as well.
Yeah, I just don't think Ipswich will have enough again. Like, it's so boring, and I really wish Championship clubs could come up and compete, but I just don't think they
Mm.
can at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I've might as well go on to my net. I put Ipswich as the
17.
17th team. I think Frankie Boyle, I mean, sorry, Kieran McKenna is is going to. Yeah, I feel like again, Luton is a really good comparison. It's hard to know because like they've had really good players. Like Leif Davis was good. They've signed Johnson from you, who I think he's not the best, but Amari Hutchinson back on loan as well, or was it a permanent? I can't actually remember.
It
So
would,
they've done.
yeah.
They've done well, like signing a few good players. It is just knowing if they can.
Are they going to step up though? Delap is another Championship.
That's a risky. Yeah,
Riz
that's risky.
Hutchinson, yeah, he did win a Championship. Chelsea let him go. Clearly, they didn't
Yeah,
see anything in it. I know. I mean, Chelsea will sell anyone if they can make a
yeah.
profit on it, but I
No, I know
mean,
what you mean. It's like the last year they had Kiefer Moore on loan, and we know he's not good at
yeah,
Premier
he's
League
not a
level.
Premier League player.
So
I think what
it's
they'll
not.
do is they'll have a go. Why
Yeah.
not? And they'll have the players to go back down and still
Mm,
compete and try and come back up again. I think they, but they could do something. You never know.
mm.
But I do
No.
think who's my 17th was Brentford.
Okay. Do you want to do this section together? Because I've got it as like on my list. It's like 13th to 17th. Lower
Yeah,
mid.
yeah.
It's called.
Should we do it
Go.
like a block?
Yeah. So I'll go first. So I've got Ipswich.
Right.
Then these teams could be in any order. I
Yeah,
feel like, but
yeah, that's
the
what.
top
Oh,
team I think might be right. I've got Ipswich, Forest,
yeah.
Everton, Brentford, and Wolves.
Okay. I've got Brentford, Forest,
Mm.
Everton, Bournemouth, Fulham.
Bournemouth and Fulham.
Yeah, Bournemouth and
Wow,
Fulham. Yeah.
wow.
Rogue
Okay.
shouts, but Bournemouth are about to lose 18 goals.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And that will hit them hard. Fulham, I think there's better teams.
Yeah.
From when I look at the table going up, I just think there's better teams than Fulham. I think Fulham are a mid-table team. I like
Muniz.
Muniz.
Yeah.
He's a good striker. Um, they've got Jimenez as well off the bench. That's like a good front line. Wilson on the wing with um
We got Iwobi Emil Smith Rowe.
Roby, and they bought Emil Smith Rowe, who seems like a lot for Smith Rowe, doesn't it? 35 million.
I think that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for
Wait,
somebody who has an injury record like that.
yeah, Arsenal's
But
next Arsenal captain, was he going to be like Wilshere?
yeah, yeah. Their youngster's always the next captain. You remember Jack Wilshere?
Yeah.
The next England captain, Jack Wilshere.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest because it's teasing that Bournemouth and Fulham were my next section.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I just think the way I see it, and I'll just do a whistle stop tour with this. I think Forest are a basket case of a club, but they've still got enough good players there
They
to
do.
get something done. If Nuno's there the whole season, God knows. Everton, I still think I don't see this Sean Dyche team moving on any further than where they are. Like the
Oh,
owners are awful. They don't seem like they're going to get bought out. The signings are very lackluster. So there's
Golden
that.
Onana's gone as well.
Yeah, I mean that's a massive loss and a
Yeah.
massive gain for Villa. Then you got Brentford. Tony, will he leave?
Did you
Will he
see they were
stay?
like offering out Calvert-Lewin to everyone this summer as
Oh,
well?
it's just stupid.
And
Like,
they actually how much they wanted for Calvert-Lewin? I
when
think
they
it's
got
like
fifth.
40 million, 40, 50 million for
Oh,
Calvert-Lewin.
Spurs should have gone for him then over Solanke. But
Oh my
yeah,
God.
Brentford. I just think Tony's future's uncertain still at the time of recording.
Brentford's a weird one because if Tony stays and
I think
Mbappe,
they weren't good last year though, even with Tony.
yeah,
Like Vissar. Like I just think again, Brentford. I put them a bit higher, but they could do a Brighton. In my world, they could do a Brighton as well.
I like the
I think they
manager
could get
though.
proper. But
I think he's
yeah,
quality, and
is he getting
he's
found out a
like
bit though?
yeah, but he could be he's a difference in that relegation scrap. He's a
One of the
differential.
better ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's been in that situation before now. He knows what he's doing. I think Everton survived because Sean Dyche is
yeah.
tried and trusted.
Mm.
But he could. I mean, the fans could easily turn on him
Mm.
in the season.
Because they wanted to be next level, didn't they?
Everton are a club that think they should be competing with the European places,
Mm.
and they're not. So if they have a run of bad results, Sean Dyche's his job could be on the line potentially.
Yeah, I don't think that's a
Bournemouth,
bad show.
I put Bournemouth in there because of Solanke. Really, I think that's a big.
Yeah,
Do you? And I don't know. I've not seen enough to know whether they're going to be able to replace that or not.
I mean, I'll put Bournemouth on my table will technically be 11th. So I just think like Iriola's like a manager, like you say there, Thomas Frank. Like I still think he's a good operator, even though he's got one season under his belt, and they've got that now they've made permanent. They've signed that defender who I think looks quite good. I just think like those three teams in my table, which is Wolves, Fulham, and Bournemouth. I don't think they can get higher than that, and I don't think they can get lower because I think their managers are fine. Like Marco Silva is a good operator as well.
Players,
Yeah,
yeah,
and the players are just a bit more Premier League level. So, and
they're
Wolves,
all
that's what.
about they're all about to lose big players. Neto,
Hmm.
Solanke, Fulham haven't lost anyone. I don't think actually.
Palhinha.
Yeah, Paulinho. They've all lost
Yeah.
big players for them last season.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
Is
I've
it?
just seen, especially with West Ham, when you lose a big player like that, definitely takes a hit. You lose something.
No, I think it's a tricky one. I think Wolves are now moving away from the clutches of George Mendes. Maybe that'll be better for them as well. So, but I think Gary O'Neill's a class manager. I'm surprised if you hadn't gone for Lopetegui, I thought you would have gone for him. Maybe,
Harry O'Neill.
maybe. Yeah, West Ham legend,
Maybe.
isn't
Good player for Sam Allardyce. He
he? Yeah.
was, I like Gary
So
O'Neill,
the
yeah.
so the only
Well, to be
difference.
honest, if we're going up again, right? So I've put
Yeah.
Palace 12th, Brighton
Okay.
11th, and Wolves 10th.
Okay. Is that the whole row? Was that the whole
That
row?
takes me up. That takes us up to 10th place.
Okay, because I've got two more. So who are your ninth and eighth as well? Might as well chuck them in.
9th and 8th, Chelsea 9th, and Villa 8th.
Villa. What?
Yeah, I'll put Villa 8th.
I've got Fulham and Bournemouth, who we've already spoke about.
Mm.
I'll then have Palace in 10th. I've got Newcastle in 9th. And I've got Chelsea 8th.
I'll tell you my thinking behind Villa.
Go on.
So Champions League football showed it is tough. Newcastle last season, they struggled, injuries all
Yeah.
the time. They couldn't get their first team out in the Premier League, like barely ever. And I think, yes, Villa have invested. I think Villa have done a better job than Newcastle of investing in players, but they're investing in players that,
We don't know, do
for
we?
instance, yeah, I mean, Ross Barkley, you know what you're getting. Or do you at the top level? Because he was only doing it for Luton last year. Onana or Douglas Luiz?
Yeah,
Douglas
Douglas Luiz.
Luiz
Yeah.
is a baller, like a massive miss.
Mm.
I don't know if Onana is going to go in and do what he's definitely not going to do what Douglas Luiz was doing. They're different players, and I don't know if he's going to be able to replace that. I just think Champions League football is a lot, especially for
Yeah.
that first time in the Champions League. The emotions of it, I would say the Champions League is going to be more important than the league for them at the start, which it was for Newcastle as well. But then I think maybe reality kind of will kick in for Villa, and the reality of the Champions League might hit them.
Yeah, I mean the only reason I've got them higher and to debunk your Newcastle, I think Emery's a better manager than Eddie Howe. And like I mean
Very true.
I heard Rory Jennings say the other day that Emery's the second best manager in the league. And when
I
you
don't.
actually think but when you think about it a little bit, I don't agree with it, but when you actually work out like other managers, like
In terms of honors, yeah,
yeah. And also the way that all the managers at the top level have changed, like
yeah. He's
you know,
probably
I mean,
he's also one of the most experienced in the league now.
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's not just about like, Ange is an experienced manager. He's been managing it a lot of time, but this is his second season at a top level. So, it
Yeah.
works. It works in mysterious ways. But then for my arguments are, as I said, we spoke about
Who was
Palace. I think
ninth?
so. I've got so nine. What's that? 12, 11. So 10th is Palace, and I
Okay.
just think they're still at that level. I think
They've lost
Glasner's good.
Elise, Gehi.
Yeah, and they could.
Mateta's coming back from the Olympics. He's not even back
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, and then like Eze, I mean, could he
Eze,
still leave?
is he going to be looking at the team being like, oh my God, like, we're
Everyone's
dropping
gone.
like flies?
Yeah, and I just think they were lucky last year, Palace, because Glasner had all the players, unlike Roy. Roy still had them when they were injured,
Yeah.
and that was a proper managerial bounce.
Mm.
So I just think 10th is fine; they're good enough.
I'll put him 12.
Ninth, ninth, I've got Newcastle because I just think they're not as good as everyone thinks they are. I feel like you know that I just think like their
They are
injuries
good
and
though. They're a hard team when they're
yeah.
when they're on it, and they are signing Gehi, who's a
But
quality.
my argument is I think the teams above them are better.
Yeah,
With one of them just being better. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think like last year when in certain fixtures, I think the pressure got to him. Gordon looked like he was off at one stage. You know,
yeah. Well,
like
If they lose Gordon, my prediction changes a lot.
I feel like if even Bruno like could
Yeah,
he
he's linked as well.
like if City could do with him,
Yeah,
and then yeah, just above that I'll put Chelsea because they're
Chelsea eight,
terrible. Chelsea are eighth. Just I think
Chelsea ninth for me.
yeah, I just think they're just absolutely embarrassing. The way they're run, their sales, their signings. I mean, as we record this early in the day, they've just signed Pedro Neto. Well, they're looking to sign
Signing
Pedro
Neto.
Neto,
They're
and
signing the geezer from Atletico,
yeah,
who was playing in the second division of Spanish football and scored 8 goals for 30
could
million.
he?
They're signing
Could
him.
he? They do that a lot though. They'll just sign people for 30 million. Like
I
that, it
don't
just
get it.
seems like just sign 10 players at 30 million. It's like what is
The
going
model
on?
for me doesn't make sense. And if I'm a Chelsea fan and I'm seeing all my homegrown talent that are better than the players that they're bringing in already,
Mm.
what's going on?
It's an absolute
It's
mess.
crazy.
It's just
And
I
if
just can't
Leicester,
get my head
I mean,
around.
I'm literally seeing Leicester fans who are happy that
Yeah,
thing he's gone. Can't remember
I
his name.
just Maresca.
Maresca. They're happy
Yeah,
he's gone. And he's gone to Chelsea, who are meant to be like pushing for the Champions League.
Hmm. It's
No,
nuts.
I just don't see it. No.
It's nuts. But yeah, I just think I just can't see him doing better than that. I mean, some Chelsea fans are optimistic. Some they're just hard to judge. A lot of these teams are just very hard to judge.
Chelsea's hard to judge because Parma, they have got quality in that team. I mean, when you look at it on paper, Palmer, Neto, Jackson, um, who would they put 10?
I've seen.
Or if
I
they
don't
put
know.
Palmer 10, Madueke right wing,
But even that, Madueke, Jackson, is
Madueke,
Jackson
yeah.
the answer? Like
Midfield as well.
Enzo,
Are they going to have Lavia back? So maybe it's Lavia, Casado, Enzo, Neto,
Lavia, is he
Palmer,
good enough?
Jackson.
Like
And we have no idea. He did look
he's not
really
kicked
good
the
for
ball in a
Southampton.
year. Fafana, like Paddy Shield, they're all like
Yeah.
their names. Just when I say their names, I'm just like, right.
There's a lot we are not saying. I bet there's Chelsea fans saying, "Oh, we signed like well, I don't know who you signed. You signed 20 players. I don't know who you've got."
They got 9 backup keepers. I don't know. You can
Yeah.
make a team with their keepers. I don't know, but
James, how long does he last?
yeah, he's
Hey,
like a poppadom, isn't he?
who else have I got? Wolves 10th. I like Wolves, solid team.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the argument I made. I think they're, you know,
Solid.
in that middle pack, aren't they? The Wolves
Yeah,
are
and
in the middle pack.
I've put Brighton as well in the middle. You've put them relegated.
Yeah, you argued for
Oh.
Brighton well, but
So right,
James Milner's older than the manager, mate. That's what it is.
Yeah, he'll probably become the assistant. James,
Should we do?
I can see
What do you want to?
James Milner being a manager. I can see that.
Yeah, yeah. That's what will happen. So he will struggle. He'll get sacked at Christmas, and James Milner becomes player manager, and they still go down.
Well,
So,
that leads on to 7th to 5th European places, just outside Champions League. Who have you gone for?
well, I teased this on my video. I think West Ham 7th, so you're going to be back in Europe.
Yeah, you are.
Villa 6th, and United 5th.
I've
I think.
gone Newcastle 7th, West Ham 6th, and United 5th.
Yeah. Oh, we both put United the same place.
Both
Yeah, I
United.
think my argument
For some
for West
reason,
Ham.
United.
Yeah, my argument for West Ham is I think you're making some really good signings. I think you're winning the window at the moment. Tadibo really good.
What?
Somerville really good.
What a
Fulkrug
signing.
really good. So yeah, really think you're operating well. I think Lopetegui. I've said it on my channel. Like I think Lopetegui's going to have a tough season, but I think it's going to work out in the end, and you're going to be perfect. Looking ahead to the next
I
season
think
after.
really the reason I put Newcastle and West Ham so high is because we don't have European football.
That does help.
And we don't have European football and we're strong. Like we've got quality players and not having that European football, we've had it for the past 3 seasons and I've seen it like it does make a massive difference and it can hurt your squad if not done correctly. So I just think West Ham and Newcastle are strong enough with no European football to get into those places above a Villa. That was my thinking.
Yeah. I mean, my argument for Villa is I think they've done good in the transfer window. You know, kept Watkins. Strong back line, Martinez, Pau Torres.
Yeah.
Good fullbacks. Like
Sold sold Diaby though. 60
I think
million.
yeah, but that was
good
good. I
fee.
think that was good business. Good
It was
business.
a good fee.
I think Emery's a good manager. They will drop down because I think 6th is more realistic because of being in the Champions League. But I think they're more Champions League ready than Newcastle. And then as for United, I think United have got more negative press than they deserve.
They always have.
Ericsson,
If Man United aren't winning the league, they're just getting negative press. I mean,
I think Ten Hag's doing an all right job. It's just a shame that his star centre back signings got injured. Hoyland's got injured. I feel like I like the signing of Xerxes. Maybe they'll sign Delict as well, but it depends because I think he's being arrested or something.
they're trying to. Yeah, I saw that today. He's getting shot. Or they're looking for him. He did a run. not a hit and run, but I think he crashed into a car and then just drove off or something like that.
Oh, fantastic! That's nice. But
Classic United.
Cold Crash FC. No, I just think like they'll do all right. I think fifth for
I think they're
them is good
good, but
progress.
Ten Hag ball last season. We'll see this season if they don't have a lot of injuries, how good he is.
Mm,
Because last season it was shocking, and
yeah.
he's got a good excuse with the injuries. But I mean, he could say that again. Hoyland's out, and then
Mm,
signing 18-year-old. They got rid of Varane. The
mm,
18-year-old was meant to come straight in. I think
yeah.
he's out. So who plays there now? Lindelof.
Yeah, how's he still knocking about, by the way?
Oh, Lindelof.
Lindelof. How did Lindelof survive Varane? Like, how did Varane
He's outlived
come to the
everyone.
like?
Lindelof.
Lindelof was like that, and Varane was in that period less. And
Yeah, it's strange. It's strange. Lindelof was there when Mourinho took over.
and
I mean,
Casemiro. I think
Casemiro,
Lindelof was a Mourinho signing, weren't he? I think
he was. Yeah, he was. Casemiro,
so.
it needs someone to save him a lot. Mainu, yeah, we know Mainu's
He could
quality.
get burnt out though, Mainu. He could get burnt out. It's a lot of
True,
minutes for a youngster.
true. I like the forward line. If they develop, I think Xerxes could be a good signing. He looks really good.
Yeah, and
And then,
then like
if Rashford decides this season I'm going to turn up again, that's another 15 goals a season. Anthony probably not going to light the world up, but Garnacho's good.
mm,
So they do have
no,
quality. They're probably good enough, but there is a world where Ten Hag gets sacked and then do you not feel like Ruud van Nistelrooy is just hanging there like in the back, just waiting? You know what I
the Dutch
mean?
destroyer.
Yeah,
That's what it'll be.
just like I'm waiting for you to get sacked. I'm gonna take over. That could
Rude
happen.
boy. Call me rude boy. Can you keep it up? That's
Right.
yeah.
Top four. I feel like
Well, how do you
we
want? How
we
do you
all
want
got
to
the
do this?
same teams. Let's go fourth.
Fourth, I'll
Spurs.
put the mighty Tottenham Hotspur.
I've
We'll
put
be
Spurs.
back in the Champions League
We,
where
we
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 belong.
spoke a lot about Spurs on your channel, but I mean, quickly, Ange, I think he will find he'll get more out of your squad this season than last
Mm,
season. He knows the players now. The players know him. You bring in quality. Archie Gray is a good prospect. Dominic Solanke will get you at least 15 goals. Yeah. And then when I look at everyone else, you just seem ahead of everyone.
yeah, I think we're finally putting the final pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together.
Yeah,
That
see,
doesn't that doesn't necessarily mean success, but that means like we're on the right trajectory under Ange. Um, I don't think he's been found out. I've said this on my channel. I just think he just needed the striker. He needed another midfielder like Archie Gray. Like he
yeah,
needed some good youngsters who he now knows better. So fourth, I think, is
it's respectable.
the thing is I've seen some people put us third because of the team who are third in my selection, Liverpool, being an
They're
unknown
in
entity
third
under
as well.
Arne Slot. So
In
yeah.
Liverpool, uh, Liverpool's got so much quality compared to the rest of the
Mm.
teams. They should finish third even without a manager.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. Isn't it like Salah, Van Dijk? Like
No,
you just.
they have. They've got so much quality. That forward line and Gakpo, by the way, in the Euros, he looks
Mm.
class on the left
Yeah,
wing.
but he needs. I've not seen him do that for Liverpool though.
If he can perform like that for Liverpool, they get Salah scoring again. Wasn't a lot. Nunes, I like Nunes. I don't know about you. I think Nunes gets a lot of heat because he misses sitters, but a lot of top strikers miss sitters. Man, Torres, he missed a
I
lot of
ha-
sitters. He's quality.
I hate Nunes.
You
I
hate
think
Nunes.
he's. I
I
just.
love him.
I just don't rate him at all.
He's like, yeah, but you know, if you look at his numbers last year, the way people talk about him, it's like he's Antonio. He's not Antonio. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
he's a
toilet,
donkey,
mate.
but he's not. He's a donkey, but still performs. And for Uruguay, he was like their main man.
Mm.
So I like him. I like
I don't like how he's described as like chaotic because I feel like that's a negative word.
his defenders are like, well, we have no idea what's coming. He
Mm.
could get a hat trick or he can miss three sitters. You just never know. And I think that's where people are like, oh, he needs to be consistent. But you know what? Liverpool can afford it. They got Salah. If Gakpo starts scoring, then Nunes can just be a bird. Let him fly. Let
Um,
Nunes, let him go and do what he wants.
so yeah,
And have you seen
third.
the midfielder there? Have you seen the midfielder they're linked with, the Spanish one? Zim
Zumbamendi.
Zimmendi or the one who
Yeah.
came on against England and basically did that to Rodri.
It's good your first video isn't monetized because you would have just been cancelled there, mate.
Yeah, yeah. It's going wild.
It was so you have to cut it there, but it just went. You just went, yeah. It really tickled me. Oh,
My
decent
internet
post.
started lagging. I was like,
Right. So we did
oh,
Liverpool
where
there.
we're
So
at. So yeah, we've done Liverpool. They look strong third. And then should we just do who's winning for you?
I think this is where we differ.
Who have you got?
I've got Man City.
So have I.
Oh, you have. Oh, see, I thought
I've
you were
got
gonna.
Man City.
We know too many annoying Arsenal fans to want to put the
I
City to want to put Arsenal.
yeah.
Sorry.
I like I like what Arsenal are doing. I hate
Mm,
Arsenal, but
yeah, you
they
have to
stole
respect it from
they stole
afar.
Declan Rice from us. I hate them, but
Yeah.
you got to respect it. And the Calafiori, he's like better than what they have. He's going to make them so strong in the defense. I feel like people are going to struggle to score. Um, I just think Man City, man, like look at them. Haaland, they brought in Savinho. Have you seen Savinho?
Yeah.
It's like Mahrez regen, literally.
Really? Oh,
Mahrez,
is he?
I've Doku as well. Doku cometh the hour, cometh the man season. I'm thinking he's
Mm,
going to be good. Then you got Foden, De Bruyne, and Rodri. I mean, that is just like not
yeah.
fair.
They don't
And
even
Pep,
need. Yeah, as long as Pep is in the Premier League, they will win the title, and that's how I see it. Because I just think he's strong. He is basically the better version of Arteta anyway. So I don't see
I,
a world where Man City. I just they don't need much anyway. Like they could wait another year and then replace Kovacic or De Bruyne. But De Bruyne is still going to put those numbers up. Haaland, as long as he's like fit, they're all right. Their defense is immaculate. It looks like they're keeping Edison. That's what it is. Arsenal are on the right trajectory, but I still just think there's something missing.
see a
And
lot of people would say this is the season they have to win it. They
I
have
think
to.
so. Yeah.
But
They're just turning into Tottenham under Poch otherwise.
yeah. Well, they look so strong though, but Man City are just another level, another beast. Well, no, they're not enough. They're not a million miles away. We're talking like a few points, right?
Mm,
But Man City have gone and got a first team player in. Savinho will go into the
mm,
first team. They're getting stronger. If they go get Bruno,
mm,
they get even stronger. Their defense is
mm,
strong. Maybe Carl Walker might be a weak link next season.
mm. Maybe, but then got
He
Rico
looked,
Lewis.
yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Oscar Bob as well. Yeah, he's just
yeah, I think he'll have a big season. But
yeah.
yeah, I just think of Arsenal, and by the looks of it, they're not going to bring a striker in. So
That's
unless they do
something.
go for Tony, I don't
But
know.
I think
But
they are getting that Moreno though, who's a good signing.
yeah,
The
that's a
Spanish
good
one.
signing because I think they realised last year, didn't they, that Rice isn't the six; he's got to be an eight,
He's an
and
eight.
Jorginho's not getting any younger. Thomas Partey's not getting any younger or less guilty. So yeah, so we'll see.
A striker is, but then maybe Arteta would say, "Why do we need one?" Havertz
Mm.
put up the goal. But no, I think they do need one. Trossard, Havertz, Saka's not good enough.
No, Havertz was good, all right last season. He was good, but he's not gonna score
They at
you.
least need a left winger who. I know
Martinelli.
Trossard scores, but
Martinelli's got to get back to form as well.
yeah. But when you look at the front line, you compare it to City, and you're just
Mm,
like, well, no wonder you're not winning the league because City's is so much more strong than yours. You've just got a
yeah,
great defense.
yeah. Oh well.
But yeah, Man City, another boring old year of Man City winning the league. Cheers.
Yeah, good on
I
them.
don't I don't care about that. West Ham are going to get European football again. So come
Yeah.
on.
Actually, you'll be in the title fight with them. That's what it
Yeah,
will
oh,
be.
can you imagine? We do
Yeah.
a fucking Leicester City. That would be madness. But there is our Premier League predictions for the season. Let us know in the comments your predictions. How many terrible takes did we have? Head over to Sonny's channel, Sonny Talks Spurs. He does all things Spurs. And we've got a video on there where we talk about West Ham and Spurs and their seasons, how it's going to unfold for them a bit more in depth. And thank you for tuning in. Take care, and we'll see you next time.